Hello, Megan from McEwen Investment Services. I've been asked recently to explain how the rising interest rate rises might be impacting the cost of residential aged care, as is the case with all the consecutive rate rises that we've had and been seeing since last year. The interest rate that's used to convert the cost of a room in a nursing home to a daily amount, for those who choose to pay it as a daily amount, has been steadily climbing. To give you an idea, on the 1st of April, the rate will be increasing again to 7.46%. In December 21, so about 15 months ago, that rate was 4.01%. So it is getting very close to having doubled, not inconsistent with what we're seeing generally with the RBA's interest rate announcements. And to give you some perspective of the impact of that, for somebody who chooses to move into a room with a cost of $500,000 and chooses to pay for their room using the daily amount, that is, they're renting their room, not buying their room. Back in December, they would have paid annually about $20,000 for the cost of that room, to rent that room. If they move in after the 1st of April, the cost of that room is going to be over $37,000. So it is material. How does it impact people who are in care already? It won't. You're either a person who has paid for your room using a refundable lump sum amount, in which case the interest rate has no bearing. And even for the people who are paying a daily amount, either on the full cost of their room or a part cost of their room, the interest rate is locked on the date that you move into care. So there's no uncertainty there. If rates rise, you won't pay any more, but correspondingly, if rates decrease, you won't pay any less. But if you are moving into aged care after the 1st of April, you will be paying more for your room than the person next door to you if you choose to pay using the daily amount. The only people who really stand to gain from rising interest rate rises is the people who the government determines need support to fund the cost of their room, people who, on the basis of their income and assets, are determined to be a supported resident or a low means resident, and the government pays something towards their accommodation. So that resident's contribution amount, the amount that they are asked to pay, it will be less as interest rates rise than it would have been previously. So for everybody else, the cost of a room, if you are paying by a daily amount, is going to continue to increase as long as interest rates continue to increase. If in time we see a reversal, and if the RBA sees fit to reduce interest rates, we should expect to see the interest rate used to calculate the daily amount for aged care reduce as well. But yeah, the way the system works and the fact that interest rates are locked on the date that you enter care means that you can have people living side by side in identical rooms, paying different amounts for their rooms if they choose the rent or the daily amount option. As I said earlier, for people who choose to pay the refundable amount for their rooms, the interest rate doesn't have any bearing on the amount of that. So there's no impact for those people. But for everybody else, yep, aged care has become a whole lot more expensive over the last 15 months.